Okay, let's dive in. If you're, say, managing a farm in India, or maybe running a small factory, an MSME.
Or even just own some land.
Exactly. What are those big, persistent worries? For so many people we hear about, it really boils down to two things, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
Unpredictable water, especially when the rains don't come.
A huge one.
And then there's the cost of energy, powering pumps, machinery, everything. It just keeps going up.
hmm And these aren't small things, right?
Yeah,
They fundamentally affect your bottom line, your ability to operate, even your peace of mind.
totally. They create real pressure. It's about survival and growth.
And that demand for stability, for independence, it's driving the need for real solutions.
And that's exactly what we're exploring today. How do you tackle these head on? We're looking at an approach that one company we've researched frames very simply, which is harvesting natural resources, basically making the most of what's already there, rainwater and sunlight.
That's a really powerful way to put it. It's a shift, isn't it? From just coping with shortages to actually proactively using the resources around you.
Precisely. And for this deep dive, we got some interesting materials from a listener about a company in Bengaluru. They're called Moleyar Marketing LLP.
Okay.
We looked through their company profile, some website info, customer reviews, even YouTube transcripts.
Right. So a pretty good mix of sources.
Yeah.
Gives you a sense not just of the services, the what, but also the thinking behind it. The passion, maybe.
Yeah, exactly. And that's our goal here, to kind of sift through all that, pull out the key insights. What are the actual benefits Moleyar offers? And what's the why? What really drives them, especially this focus we saw on helping farmers, MSMEs, landowners.
It seems like they really want to be seen as more than just, a supplier.
Yeah, the sources definitely paint a picture of partnership, focus on growth, sustainability. There's a lot of positive energy there.
It sounds like they're positioning themselves for the long haul with their clients, not just a one-off transaction.
So let's get into it. The materials say Moleyar Marketing LLP started back in 2013.
Okay, so over a decade now.
Yeah. And right from the beginning, they built their work around this core idea, harvesting natural resources. They see rain and sun not just as weather, but as, well, valuable assets right there on your land, assets that can fuel growth and create a sustainable operation.
It feels like more than just marketing speak based on what we saw. It seems embedded in how they operate, what fuels their whole approach.
And what's the ultimate goal for their clients? The sources talk a lot about achieving resource independence.
Resource independence, okay.
Yeah, the vision seems to be a future where people, businesses, communities across India can genuinely flourish by using the water and solar energy that's naturally available to them, sustainably, effectively.
When you think about the bigger picture in India, water conservation, renewable energy targets, this kind of local empowerment really feeds into those national goals, doesn't it?
Absolutely. It connects the dots. Their stated mission is pretty clear. Empower clients nationwide with expertly designed, installed solutions.
And that hands-on partner feel you mentioned, it seems quite deliberate.
It does. They present themselves as a dedicated team, offering customized solutions, taking direct responsibility, not some faceless company.
And the sources mention mentors too, Mr. Prakash MS and Mr. Prashant MS.
That's right, with over 10 years of specific expertise, and apparently they're still very actively involved day to day.
That suggests a real personal commitment, doesn't it? That kind of direct involvement, plus the emphasis on ethics, good customer support, delivering on time, on budget. That's how you build those partnerships.
Definitely, and they back it up with some solid credentials. We saw their ISO 9001.2015 certified.
Right, the quality management standard.
Which, for anyone listening, basically means they have standardized processes in place. It points towards discipline, consistency, reliability, and how they manage projects.
That's important. And they also mentioned being impaneled with government bodies in Karnataka.
Yes, crucial point. With the Department of Horticulture for pond blinding subsidies.
Okay.
And with MNRE, the Ministry of New and Renewable Energy, for that PM EUSAR-YA GRU Jana solar scheme.
So being impaneled essentially means they're approved providers. Clients can work with them to access government support.
Exactly. It simplifies things for eligible clients wanting to use those schemes. Big plus.
On the solar side, there was also that N-phase premier installer recognition.
Right. N-phase, they do microinverters, battery systems. Being a premier installer suggests they have specific expertise in that tech.
Which often means things like panel level optimization, potentially better performance, especially if you have shading issues.
Yeah, better performance, maybe enhanced safety, easier monitoring compared to older systems. It signals a focus on reliable advanced technology.
Okay, so that sets the stage. How do they actually help people harvest natural resources on the ground?
Well, the sources describe this really interesting integrated approach that combines skills in two key areas that are often linked.
Water and solar.
Exactly. Water management, mostly pond lining, and solar energy through rooftop installations.
It's that integration that seems unique. The sources suggest not many companies really bridge both effectively.
Yeah, they seem to position themselves as a kind of one-stop shop for resource independence. They understand that saving water and making solar power aren't separate issues for many people.
Or two sides of the same coin for building a self-sufficient system. Makes sense.
So let's look at the water side first, pond lining. Water is just fundamental, right, for farming, for many industries.
Absolutely non-negotiable. Their expertise here is in creating these robust, long-lasting water storage systems.
And the key material mentioned is HDPE geomembrane.
High-density polyethylene.
HDTE, yeah. Why is that significant?
Well, the sources imply it's chosen for its toughness, it's durable, stands up to sunlight, UV radiation, and importantly, it's non-toxic.
Non-toxic. Crucial for things like fish farming.
Exactly. Aquaculture. That durability means the pond liner lasts, protecting your investment and keeping that water secure for years. And they offer this service across India. Design, materials, installation.
Yep, nationwide coverage according to the sources.
But for Karnataka specifically, they can help with that RKVY subsidy, Rashtriya Krishi Vikas Yojana.
Correct. Leveraging that empanelment with the horticulture department to guide clients through the subsidy process, potentially making it more affordable.
And the installation itself sounds pretty thorough. Site assessment, specialized welding machines for the liners.
Yeah, that automatic welding detail is interesting. It creates stronger, more reliable seams than doing it by hand. Less risk of leaks, which would defeat the whole purpose.
Good point. Losing stored water is the last thing you want.
They also act as distributors for some known Indian brands, Kingstone, Gorilla, Climax Geosynthetics, offering different thicknesses for different needs.
And the uses are quite varied, aren't they? It's not just standard farm ponds.
Not at all. Obviously, rainwater harvesting, irrigation ponds, but also, like you said, fish and prawn farming, even specialized setups for growing algae like spirulina.
Wow, okay. And related products too. Geotextiles, water tanks.
Yeah, geotextile fabric to protect the liner, and those modular Zincalume tanks for other water storage needs.
Did the sources give any specific examples? Real-world impact.
They did. One was pretty striking. A large plantation owner, Arcanet and Coconut, big operation.
Okay.
Their main problems. Relying entirely on unpredictable rainfall and spending a fortune buying water from tankers. Major headache.
I can imagine. So what did Moleyar do?
They designed and installed a massive rainwater harvesting pond. Capacity, 1.5 crore liters.
Wow, 15 million liters. That's a serious amount of water security.
Totally transformative, according to the source. The plantation got a reliable year-round water supply. No more expensive tankers. And crucially, it meant consistent health and yield for their crops. Secured their business, really.
That's a fantastic outcome. You mentioned the aquaculture examples too.
Yeah, specialized ponds for prawn farming and biofloc fish farming, where the non-toxic quality of the HDPE liner is absolutely essential. It provides that safe, reliable base they need.
Okay, so that's water management covered. Let's switch gears to the other side, solar energy.
Right. Harnessing sunlight. The sources position this as a direct route to, well, energy independence and slashing those running costs.
Makes sense. Electricity bills can be crippling.
And like with water, they seem flexible. They handle standard, non-subsidy projects anywhere in India, commercial, industrial, residential.
But again, for Karnataka, there's that specific scheme, PM, SERYA, GAR Yojana.
Yes. Being an MNRE empaneled vendor means they're authorized to install systems under that scheme, and this seems key. They help clients navigate the whole process. Application, getting the subsidy.
That's a huge value add.
Yeah.
Dealing with government schemes can be daunting for individuals or small businesses. While you're handling it end to end, that simplifies things massively.
Definitely, from registration right through to getting the subsidy funds dispersed.
And we touched on the tech side, that Enphase Premier Installer status.
Yeah, pointing towards expertise in microinverters, battery systems, focusing on optimizing energy generation, safety, reliability. It suggests they're using current high-performance tech.
And it's not cookie cutter, right? They tailor the systems.
Seems so. On-grid, off-grid hybrid systems, designed based on the client's actual energy needs. from smaller kilowatt setups up to large megawatt projects.
What about feedback from solar customers? Did the reviews mention anything specific?
They did. One phrase that kept coming up was hassle-free end-to-end solution.
Ah, hassle-free. That's what people want.
Absolutely. Clients seemed genuinely happy with the team's professionalism, their work ethic, the quality.
And didn't some reviews mention personal involvement? Like
Yeah.
Mr. Prashanth keeping them updated?
Yes. And this really speaks to that partnership idea. Clients noted Moleyar continues to monitor the system's power generation after installation.
Oh, wow. So they don't just install and walk away.
Doesn't sound like it. They stick around to make sure it's actually delivering the benefits. That post-installation support really underlines that commitment to the client's success. It feels authentic.
It definitely reinforces that why it's not just about the sale, it's about the long-term outcome for the client.
There was one case study that really tied both water and solar together perfectly.
The integrated approach in action.
Exactly. It was a floriculture farm growing delicate flowers.
Okay, so probably sensitive to weather and needing consistent irrigation.
Precisely. Dual challenges, unpredictable climate messing with the flowers, and high electricity bills from running irrigation pumps all the time.
So what was Moleyar's combined solution?
Well, first, they installed a rainwater harvesting pond, consistent water supply, check.
Yep.
Then they added a rooftop solar system specifically designed to power those irrigation pumps.
Linking the two directly. Very smart.
And the results reported were pretty impressive. Reduced carbon footprint from solar, obviously. Drastically lower running costs because they weren't paying for grid electricity for pumping. And overall, a much more self-sufficient, sustainable, and, profitable farm because they started working with the sun and rain.
That case study really crystallizes the whole harvesting natural resources philosophy, doesn't it?
It really does. Okay, so wrapping things up. If someone listening is grappling with these water or energy challenges, why should they consider Moleyar specifically, based on everything we've seen in the sources?
Well, I think several strong points emerge.
Beyond that unique integrated water and solar expertise, there's the experience factor, right? Over a decade, thousands of projects.
Yeah, 3,000 plus projects mentioned. That ISO certification we talked about, it's not just a logo, it suggests a commitment to quality processes.
And the customer reviews seem genuinely positive. That 4.9 Google rating from 75 reviews is pretty telling. High satisfaction. There's also that feeling of a real partnership. They come across as hands-on, offering customized solutions, taking ownership. Less like a vendor, more like a collaborator.
That commitment to the client's success seems to be a recurring theme. The ethics, the support, delivering on promises. It feels embedded in how they work.
And look at the range of clients mentioned. Respected research institutes like ICAR, IHR, NIT Surethkal, major industrial groups like Wellspun, big names in agriculture like Rick Swan, Jane Irrigation.
Alongside their core focus on individual farmers, planters, MSMEs, that diversity shows they can handle different scales, different complexities.
Right. So if you're out there maybe struggling to get reliable water for your land or business,
or if you're just tired of those climbing energy bills and looking for cleaner, more independent power options,
then based on this deep dive into the sources, the track record, the quality focus, the client support, that integrated expertise, and what feels like a genuine passion for helping people gain resource independence,
Moleyar Marketing LLP presents itself as a partner, really focused on helping you tap into, well, harvest those natural resources effectively, turning problems into potential.
And the sources indicate they offer a consultation, no strings attached, to understand your specific situation.
Yeah, to explore solutions tailored just for you.
So if you're interested, want to learn more about this integrated approach for your own place?
The contact details we found are phone +91 800-959 71801.
And the email is info@moleyarllp.com. They're based in Bengaluru.
It's worth considering.
Definitely. Maybe just take a moment to think, what could your land or business achieve if you weren't fighting resource limits, but actively working with nature's power?
Yeah, how could having that reliable water powered by your own